All right, let's get into it. You know that feeling while most of the world is fast asleep? Something in you just wakes up. There's this sudden surge of energy, a clarity that only seems to show up after midnight. Now, we're always told it's just a bad habit, right? But what if it's something much, much deeper? Together, we're going to decode the hidden psychology of the night owl and find out what your brain is really looking for in all that silence. Does this hit home for you? That feeling that the person you are during the day, juggling tasks, people, expectations, just isn't the complete picture? If you've ever had that sense that your truest, most focused self only comes out in the quiet of the night, well, you are definitely not alone. And there's a fascinating reason why. So, this is where we flip the script. The common view is, oh, you just have a bad sleep schedule. But what if that's not it at all? Psychology actually suggests that a love for the night is a sign of a really active mind looking for a very specific kind of safety. See, it's not a flaw, it's a feature of how you're wired. Okay, so what kind of safety are we talking about here? That brings us to our very first reason, and it's a big one. It's all about reclaiming your autonomy. At its heart, this is about taking back control over your own mental space. Just think about your typical day for a second. It's just a nonstop flood of emails, requests, social rules, deadlines. We are constantly reacting to what other people want from us. For a mind that really values its independence, that can feel incredibly restrictive, almost suffocating, like you're playing a role on someone else's stage all day long. And you know what? This feeling actually has a name. It's called psychological reactance. It's that natural, almost rebellious pushback we feel inside whenever our freedom feels threatened or limited. It's your mind's defense mechanism, basically screaming, hey, I need my own space to think and just be. And for many of us, the night is the only time it feels safe enough to do that. And you can really see the difference right here. The day world is a world of have-tos. You have to meet social obligations. You have to live up to constant expectations. But the night world, that becomes a world of get-tos. You get to be free. You get to have zero demands placed on you. It's a huge shift from having your attention divided to experiencing pure psychological comfort. So you've finally got that freedom. What does your brain do with it? Well, that leads us straight to our second reason, unlocking clarity. This is all about what happens inside your head when the world outside finally shuts up. The daytime is, let's be honest, just pure cognitive overload. There's so much mental noise, the constant pings, the faces, the social cues. It's an endless stream of data that just completely exhausts an analytical mind. Your brain is working overtime just trying to process all of it, which leaves almost no room for any deep, original thinking. And this is where the magic happens. When all those distractions finally fade away, your brain has the space to run what you could call mental simulations. This is where your best ideas pop up. It's where you finally connect the dots on a problem you've been wrestling with. You've finally given your mind the clear runway it needs to take off.
And this habit has a pretty cool name, metacognition. It's basically the art of thinking about your own thinking. And night owls are often absolute masters of this. They don't just use the quiet to think, they use it to unpack how they think, to understand their own reactions, and to ask those bigger why questions.
And let's be really clear about this. For a mind that's wired this way, that solitude isn't lonely at all. It's a laboratory. The night becomes this powerful tool for finding emotional clarity, for making sense of the day, and for really getting to know the person you are underneath it all. So, when you have that autonomy and you have that clarity, what do you actually find? This brings us to our third and final reason, which really ties everything together. You discover your authentic self. This is about who you are when the audience is gone and you're the only one left in the room. Think about it like this. Some people are really powered by external attention, getting likes, getting praise. But night owls, they're often powered by internal validation. You're not staying up late so you can post about your brilliant ideas. No, those breakthroughs feel real precisely because they happened just for you. They're lived experiences, not broadcasted performances. So in a way, the night becomes an identity reset. During the day, we're all wearing different masks, right? The employee, the parent, the friends. But at night, all those masks get to come off. It's this precious time to rebuild your identity, where you get to reconnect with the person who exists beneath all those social layers. So what's the big takeaway here? Let's bring this all home. Because what you might have always thought of as a quirk or even a flaw is actually your greatest secret weapon. This right here is probably the single most important takeaway. If anyone has ever called you lazy or difficult because you're a night owl, I want you to really hear this. The problem probably isn't you. It's that your daytime environment is failing to give your highly active mind the quiet it desperately needs. It's an environment mismatch, not a character flaw. Let's reframe this thing completely. You're not avoiding sleep. You're seeking sanctuary. You are fundamentally wired to chase after deep, uninterrupted thinking and a state of internal peace that the noisy, chaotic daytime world just can't offer. So where do you go from here? The path forward is actually pretty simple. Step 1 was just understanding the why behind the way you're wired, and hopefully we've done that together. Step 2 is to stop fighting it and start using it. Lean into these hours. Turn this unique part of you into your superpower for creativity, for problem solving, and for some deep self-awareness. And so, I'll leave you with this one question. Now that you have the psychological framework to understand this part of yourself, what are you going to do with it? How will you truly embrace the quiet, undeniable power of your midnight mind?